You've probably heard of Jim Kramer, the mad money guy, right? Well, we've had the opportunity to have a conversation with the Jim Kramer of China. Warren Wang is leading the charge for Chinese investors in America surrounding cryptocurrency and the stock market. Bad Cryptomas is still happening as we approach the holiday. And what does the IRS say about your crypto gains? Well, we're going to talk about that and other stuff we want to talk about. And you'll listen because, well, you like us. You really like us. Hey, it's episode number 63 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
Googling stuff so you don't have to. This is Joel Comm, internet entrepreneur and author of soon-to-be 15 books. And with me, I have marketing tech expert, speaker, and author, Mr. Travis Wright. Hello, Travis.
Hello, Mr. Joel Comm. This is a beautiful day. Did you know that the Bad Crypto Podcast is listened to in 183 countries?
Got to catch them all, my friend. Got to catch them all. And we're now on our way to our 2 million download because we passed that 1 million mark. And we take in tow with us the growing Republic of Bad Cryptopia. And thank you all for tuning in. You have learned the truth and the axiom, once you go bad, you never go back.
Yes, 1 million downloads. And I hope you guys liked our song. I mean, that was fun.
You know what I love? I love that people tune in for the show and then they download the next episode and they go, you know, it's like, what are they up to now? And that's, you know, we like keeping you guys guessing a little bit. I think, you know, having a reliable format is good, but also some surprises in there because this ain't your daddy's show.
Speaking of that, my son particularly, he goes, "Oh my God, that is so cheesy, Dad." And then he was, then I heard him in his room. He was like, 5 ICOs. And he was all like, oh.
Well, where your kids are concerned and my kids are concerned, this is your daddy's show.
That's true.
For the rest of y'all, it's not. And if you're not involved in the community of Bad Cryptopia yet, then you're missing out. And make sure that you follow us or engage with us in the place that's most and bestest convenient for you, whether it's the Facebook page or the closed Facebook mastermind group, our Telegram group, or on our newsletter, any of these places. You know, go to the website at badcryptopodcast.com and check out all the places you can connect with us. I also want to give a shout out to our show sponsor for the month of December. It is the Zilla app. It is the ICO Marketplace app where you can browse various ICOs and tap thumbs up or thumbs down, and you'll see what the wisdom of crowds has to say about which ones appear to be the best. And where allowed by law, you'll be able to participate using various tokens and credit card with one simple click or a tap of your finger, as it may be. The beta app should be live shortly if it's not already, and wallet functionality will be coming shortly after that. But we invite you to go check it out. And it's at zla.io/bad. And Travis, just like Santa's sack of gifts is full, our mailbag is also full.
Bad Crypto voicemail. You have one new message.
Hey there, Joel and Travis. This is David in Kansas City. I have a confession to make. It's not going to be easy for you guys to hear this, but I think it's important that you know that I come clean, that I confess. So I'm just gonna say it. I listened to some other crypto podcasts. I know, I'm so sorry. I thought maybe they could, I don't know, give me something more, something different. I know, I was so stupid. I was wrong. I feel terrible about this. But if it makes you feel any better, I want you to know there was no chemistry. There was no magic. They were so dry, so boring. They meant nothing to me. I just feel terrible. I'm so sorry. I hope you'll take me back. I hope you'll forgive me for straying. Whatever you decide, I just want you to know you didn't do anything wrong. It's not you. It's me.
And thanks for your comments. We welcome yours as well. The Bad Crypto hotline is at this phone number. You ready? Grab a pen or open your notepad on your iPhone or Android device. Take this down. Here it comes. What's that number?
That number is 708-885-9030. That number again, 708-885-9030. Call us.
And if you act now, you'll get this special Ginsu knife in digital form.
On the blockchain, a crypto Ginsu.
For cutting your digital tomatoes to feed to your crypto kitties.
But wait.
There's more. There actually is more, because many of you have written us via our contact form as well. Ryan wrote and said, I recently listened to your podcast that talked about ICO bounties and got really excited because I'd like to participate and get some free coin/token/ether/ what you have or what have you. But it looks like bounty programs require you to change your avatar on Bitcoin Talk in order to participate at all. So we'll link to this here. And I believe that he's correct about Bitcoin Talk, that there are requirements, just like there's requirements with any type of bounty participation. There's rules. And if you want to play by the rules, then you need to do this. The thing he was getting at here, Travis, is that you have to have several months of membership at Bitcoin Talk before you can change your avatar.
Not all of those bounty programs need you to be on Bitcoin Talk. So some of them are, hey, send out some tweets, Facebook share. And so not all of them are related only to Bitcoin Talk, although Bitcoin Talk is a great place to learn about various different cryptocurrencies. Most every currency that does go live, or coin or token, they do have their own page or thread that they've created where you can interact with the admins or the group of that particular coin, ask them questions and whatnot. So it is a great place to get additional information. So if you are of the type of person who wants to get more info, then go do that. And from our contact form, Donald Ray wrote in, he says, I represent individuals who are owed child support. If a person who owes child support has a large amount of coin, it seems that it will be hard to find proof of the existence of such if she wants to hide it. Is this correct?
Mr. Travis Wright, we are not hiding experts.
That I'm not child support experts. So I don't know. I think that... yeah, good luck with that.
I mean, you can hide cash under your mattress, right? You can hide anything, and cryptocurrency is, no exception to that. We don't encourage anybody to do anything that would violate the laws of their land.
Yeah, this sounds like an attorney who maybe doesn't even listen to our show. He's just trying to get some information from us. Like, I represent individuals who are owed child support. If someone has crypto and is not paying their child support, how can we find out? Like, that's kind of what it seems like to me. So good luck with that. Hope you figure that out on your own.
Yeah. And Brian has written us via contact form as well. By the way, that contact form is hidden. Well, actually, it's not. It's out there in a place where anybody can see it. If you go to badcryptopodcast.com, click Contact Joel and Travis. It's hidden in plain sight. Anyway, Brian writes, I have had some Bitcoin stored in a paper wallet since before the Bcash and Gold Forks happened. I want to sell them to buy more Bitcoin and was just wondering the method and wallet you use to claim each of these. I've read about a few methods, but some seem too complex, or some use mobile wallets to claim, which seems a bit unsecure for my liking. Any info would be great. Thanks, guys. Stay bad. A question of great excellence. And we actually had to pause the recording for a moment because we're like, wait, how do you do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we Googled it, so you don't have to.
Yeah, we did. And we came up with a great little article on WikiHow, Send Bitcoin from a Paper Wallet. And it's pretty simple here. There's apps that you can download. One of them is blockchain.info, but you can get any Bitcoin wallet app that supports importing paper wallets to your phone. And I would imagine that there's also desktop applications that let you do the same thing, right? This article was last December, so I'm sure since then there's probably some other means, but this kind of walks you through. You open the app, you create a new wallet, you write down your backup phrase on a piece of paper, and then you tap in the menu to start where it says receive Bitcoin to import your paper wallet. You simply put in the address, basically that's the imported wallet, and then you put your private key in, and you press transfer funds. Boom, Bitcoin.
And actually, paper wallets are very secure, right? Because they're not obviously attached to the internet in any way. It's just like $100 bill. If you have a $100 bill, you're going to put it someplace where you know where it is, so you don't lose it, right? But if you do lose it, the thing about this is you can make multiple copies. You could put one over here, one over there, one in your safe, one somewhere else.
Send one to me.
Send one to Mr. Joel Com. And what was the you had a link because you had sent out some paper wallets to some friends. And how did you go about doing that? Was there a link that you used to make those? Because they look really pretty.
That is correct, Mr. Travis Wright. I discovered this site. It's bitcoinpaperwallet.com. And it makes pretty wallets. You simply go to the site and then click generate keys and print paper wallets. And then you have to do something it's almost like a game. But in order to create a key to go with the wallet, you have to kind of move your mouse around and type random keystrokes. And it creates this unpredictable data that creates your keys. And then once you've done that, you'll see you can pick Bitcoin. There's some designs. In fact, there's holiday designs if you want to like give a Christmassy looking wallet. And you could also create paper wallets for Litecoin, Dogecoin on here also. And you can make your own custom Bitcoin design. That would be fun. I could make a Joel custom wallet. It provides a Photoshop template, Travis. We should make a bad crypto wallet.
That is hilarious. Well, what an interesting thing. So you printed it out and you then cut it out and folded it and whatnot, and then it's done, right?
Yeah, it's done. You print the front and then you flip it over and it prints the back, and then you cut it out and then you fold over the area that holds your private key. And then what you do is you take it and put it in a plastic baggie and put it somewhere secure. That way, because you don't want water to take out your private key. Here's the thing to remember is that you're not actually storing your Bitcoin on the wallet, right? It's not like this digital money is sleeping on this piece of paper. It's on the blockchain. Your Bitcoin is always on the blockchain. Travis, your 55 lost Bitcoin are on the blockchain.
Where are my crypto kitties?
Your crypto kitties are on the blockchain.
What about my lost IOTA? Where's that?
It's on the blockchain.
Oh, okay.
Now your keys, like your car key that you lost, that's not on the blockchain.
Oh, okay, I didn't lose that though. That's good.
Well, if you had,
is that for my Lambo? My new Lambo?
That's right. The keys for your Lambo are not on the blockchain. So, that's why it's important to keep control of and not let your, keys get lost, because you can't claim them from the blockchain. So protect your paper wallets. Practice safe wallet.
Yes.
And now the state of the market with your hosts, Joel Com and Travis Wright.
Yeah. This week in the market is good.
People bought, people sold.
People bought, people sold. You know what? We had a few comments. It was like, this one guy was like, you guys didn't talk about IOTA at all, and I'm really upset, you guys. And so, well, IOTA has done some pretty crazy things over these last couple of weeks. It has really taken off. If you have taken a look at it, like it started taking off on, I believe, December 2nd. So over the course of the last couple of weeks, it went from $1.37. It went all the way up to $5, I believe, 5 something, and now it's chilling at about $3.84. So IOTA has made some big moves. I bought some IOTA when it was up, I believe, 48 cents. And the wallet is just really wonky. I moved it into my wallet off of Binance, and it said it was there. Then the next time that I updated the app or whatever, it was gone. And then I've gone through this whole process to try to get it to attach to the Tangle, to do that, but it never does. I bet I've tried 100 times so far. So
you're always complaining about that wallet, Travis.
Dude, it is the worst scenario that I've ever seen. It really is a bad user experience.
How do you feel about the IOTA wallet, though?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I would speak about IOTA, but I don't know in IOTA about it.
Right. You don't know. You do not know on IOTA. Very nice.
Check out the market cap. We're actually recording the day before this episode is coming out. The market cap is now more than $500 billion, $535 billion. Bitcoin hovering just below the 18 mark still. I think it's the CME futures market is supposed to open, I believe, Sunday. So remember last week CBOE opened up and we saw a bump in Bitcoin, and that might happen again. Are we going to break 18 this weekend?
It looks like this could be the run towards 20,000, but I mean, we don't really know. We're just going to pay attention to see what ends up happening on this, because it's really interesting to take a look at that. So at $300 billion right now, they're about to crack. Bitcoin's about to crack into the top 10. At $303 billion, they will pass Bank of America. They just passed Wells Fargo. They passed Walmart. They passed Visa, Chevron, AT&T, Home Depot, Pfizer, Verizon, Oracle, Intel, Citigroup, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, all of those companies, Walt Disney, MasterCard, they've all been passed. Bitcoin, by the time this show airs, if it's over $303 billion, it is now in the top 10 most valuable companies or, financial institutes in the world, which is top 10. That's crazy.
Mind blowing. And a rundown of the rest of the major currencies: Ethereum hovering just under 700. Ripple has been on a run as high as 80 cents. And that was just from what a couple weeks ago was around 22, 23. That is interesting to me.
And there's some big rumors on that. Yeah, big rumors that's going to be one of the coins that is going to pop into Coinbase next year. There was a screenshot that was released allegedly by somebody in support at Coinbase, and I believe Dash, Monero, and Ripple, and maybe one other one that I don't recall off the top of my head is going.
Well, I think that might have been a fake, Mr. Travis Wright.
Oh, yeah?
I think that,
have we determined that?
That might have been a little Photoshop magic there that somebody created, but I don't think that's why it's going up. And we will soon have an interview with Brad. I don't want to mess up his last name, so I'm not going to say it, but he's the CEO of Ripple, and that's going to be happening here pretty soon. So we'll be able to not only ask him his last name, but ask him a bunch of questions about Ripple. Well, what excites me is drinking
Ripple. Drinking Ripple, does that excite you?
No, but seeing stellar lumens go up. We very early in the show we gave away stellar lumens to a lot of our early listeners, and those that were quick on the trigger were able to claim 500 free lumens. And back then they were at about 3 cents each, so it was about $15 in lumens. But right now it is just shy of 20 cents. So those 500 lumens that we gave away are now worth almost $100. And Stellar, of course, I believe making the move because of the IBM connection. That it appears to be the case.
Well, not only that, but Kik, the messenger platform, they have determined that they are going to no longer be on Ethereum, and they're going to move over to the Stellar platform. So I think what we're seeing here is now that Ethereum is becoming more congested, more companies are moving over to other platforms, right? And another one that happened with was BitShares. So BitShares, which is what we built Badcoin on, a month ago or so, whenever Bittrex took it off because of the SEC thing, that was down to 6 cents a piece. Last time I checked, it was 36 cents. And so more companies are moving over to BitShares because that blockchain is not nearly congested like Bitcoin and like Ethereum is. Bitcoin and Ethereum are running like at 100% capacity at all time. So they have all these big queues that there's like 15,000 in queue for Ethereum, and there's about 120,000, 130,000 in queue for Bitcoin right now. So some of these other blockchains that are more scalable are going to start getting some love, like Stellar, like BitShares, like IOTA, like some of these other ones. Cardano is another one. Quantum is one that's going to get some interest. EOS is another one that's starting to get some interest as well as that thing rolls out. And Quantum, that's one of the companies that I sort of have picked on as like, this could be an interesting one because of how it's doing stuff with quantum computing and how, over time, quantum computing is going to become, potentially able to hack into Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin can add some technological innovations to, stop that from happening. But Quantum has been one that I have liked, and it took off this past week as well from around $12, and right now it's sitting at $32. So that thing had a nice little bump, and Litecoin had a nice bump as well this past week.
Yeah, and it's hovering around 300 as of now. You mentioned BitShares, and for those of you in Bad Cryptopia, we have just had an interview with Stan Larimer, who is the godfather of BitShares. I'm the godfather. And he is going to be on the Monday episode, and it's a fascinating interview. You're going to want to listen in for that as well. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other news we got going here, Mr. Travis Wright. Leading off here, back home in the United States, the headline on CNBC is GOP tax bill blocks potential Bitcoin gains gambit. There's been a lot of questions about how U.S. citizens need to handle the reporting of their cryptocurrency gains and losses. And in the past, we've kind of been like, well, I don't know. And I asked my brother, who's a CPA, who really doesn't yet know a lot about crypto, and he thought that maybe there wasn't any direction on it yet. But turns out there is direction on it. There is advisement from the IRS that anything that is property, and cryptocurrencies are property, that you need to obviously report your gains and take your losses, which you conduct from your gains. But this particular article says that your crypto to crypto sales need to be tracked as well. So if you bought Bitcoin at 2,000 and you sold it at 3, but you sold it into Ethereum, that gain of $1,000 in the midst of that transaction would be a capital gain, either a short term or a long term, based on how long you've held it. The IRS is still figuring out, I think, how they're going to manage all this, but keep track of your cryptos and your purchases and your sales, and consult a CPA who knows what they're talking about. Oh, by the way, Travis, we actually have located one of our listeners of the show is a CPA who's gone deep into this, and we're going to have an interview with him shortly to be able to have an actual licensed professional to come on and provide guidance.
Yeah, it said that since the IRS views Bitcoin as property rather than a currency for tax purposes, there's been discussions around whether this is a certain kind of transaction known as a 1031 exchange, if it applies to Bitcoin and its brethren. I guess a 1031 exchange allows taxpayers to exchange one type of asset for a similar one, and thereby postponing capital gains taxes. The asset must also be used for business or investment purposes to meet other requirements. So some of this stuff is still being, figured out, as Joel mentioned. But you definitely want to keep track of what's going on. Probably create yourself a nice ledger of your transactions, maybe on Excel, or either some other sort of form that helps you keep track of all your stuff. Because again, we're not financial advisors. We're still trying to figure all this stuff out as well. That will be a great call to have someone on who has the tax and CPA background, and to be able to help us all figure this out. Because starting January 1st here in just a couple of weeks, we're starting on a whole brand new year, and then we got to figure out what does 2017 look like? How are we going to make sense of all this? Because this is a whole new space. It's an interesting space. The IRS doesn't have a whole handle on it all yet, but they're trying to figure it out, and we're going to have to go within the guidelines that they set within the parameters, because America.
And as long as we're on the topic of America, this article from Cointelegraph.com, U.S. Senate moves to criminalize non-disclosure of cryptocurrency ownership. The U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee is currently tackling Bill S-1241 that aims to criminalize the intentional concealment of ownership or control of a financial account, which would include digital currencies and digital exchanges. This is not a law yet, and there's a lot of industry opinion that's saying that this is a really bad thing. The White House is actively monitoring cryptocurrencies, and pretty soon we're going to see regulation. I don't know how quickly it's going to happen, and when it does, I would expect that we would see a significant dip. We keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? And there's a number of things that could happen that would send the markets into a tizzy. And one of them, I think, would be U.S. regulation, whether it's, harsh or loose regulation. I think either way, the markets will react negatively.
Yes, I believe the Wicked Witch of the West, Senator Dianne Feinstein, is behind this.
I'll get you, my pretty. I'll get you, my Bitcoin, too.
But no, just kidding, kind of. But so,
But I'm not. But he's not.
But he's not. No. There's a lot of really, corrupt politicians in the world. I'm not saying she's one, but there are a ton of them, and they like to maintain control, right? They like to control things as much as they can. I guess they view us in some ways as, we're their little plebes, and we must do as they say at all times. And you know what? If you live within that particular country you're in, you got to abide by the rules. But that's why people come up and start helping create change in a good way. This whole new financial system that is being created, this whole ecosystem with cryptocurrency, scares a lot of people who hold a lot of power. And these next couple of years are especially going to be really interesting to keep an eye on, because who knows what they're going to try to pull to maintain their power, because Pandora's box the lid is open on this cryptocurrency thing. It's open.
The genie is out of the bottle. Now, while Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are very legal in most of the Western world, this story on Motley Fool discusses 6 countries where Bitcoin is banned. And by having them, you can go to jail. And those countries include Bolivia, Ecuador, Kyrgyzstan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Morocco. And they're saying pretty soon they might be adding Russia to list in this. Boris, this is bad thing if Russia joins list of cryptocurrency ban.
Well, that would be interesting, because they are doing some sort of government implemented Bitcoin mining. So I guess they're talking out of both sides of the mouth. And I suppose if they're saying, oh, Bitcoin is banned, you must not have Bitcoin, except us, the KGB, we must mine as much Bitcoin as humanly possible.
Can I just say I'm being retargeted with ads on Motley Fool while reading about Russia for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Which, I mean, they're probably being retargeted because I actually did go and see them here in Denver recently. But I just think it's funny that we are talking about Russia. You might go to Siberia if they send you there if you have the Bitcoin. Yeah.
I'm actually laughing that you don't have, ad blocker.
Well, in some places they are more restrictive where it comes to cryptos. And one of those places is China, who, we compete with and are trying to be friends with. And we made friends recently with a gentleman who is the chief of ChineseInvestors.com. His name is Warren Wang, and we had a fascinating interview with him. And guess what? You get to listen to it right now. Travis, it's a big Earth. And to my knowledge, it's not flat, although there are some that think it is. But whether it is or not, on the other side of it, if it's a pancake, there's this place called China that I've never been to. And in this place called China, there is a guy that we have come across and recently met who is known to be the Jim Kramer of China. Buy.
The Mad Money guy. The Chinese Mad Money.
Yeah, Mad Money. His name is Warren Wang, and he's the founder of ChineseInvestors.com. He's the CEO, chairman, and director since 1999, and he's been in the financial markets for a very long time. He's with us, Travis. Welcome, yes. Warren Wang. Hey, Warren.
Hi, how are you guys? How are you? I'll say hi to all your audience.
Yeah, well, they say hi back to you.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a republic of bad Cryptopia, so we have citizens of our fine establishment here. Very good. So tell us. So you have a financial network that is based in the United States, and it caters to Chinese speaking folk. Is that correct?
Yes, we purely focus in North America, including U.S. and Canada. We just finished the tour around last week. We went over to the roadshow, live seminar about cryptocurrency, U.S. stock markets, gold, oil, all the financial instruments, outlooks, and the strategies for 2017. We just finished the roadshow in Toronto this Saturday and Sunday.
You've been involved in securities and precious metals and financial markets for decades now, and crypto is something obviously that's newer. So what our audience would like to hear is a little bit about how you came to an understanding of cryptocurrency and where you think it's all going.
Our Chinese audience is more gambling advocate, so they used to have over 70% volume from China. Since the government banned the centralized exchange in China, so the volume dropped significantly since February this year. And October, they totally shut down all the centralized exchange. So most of the people who currently in China trade on the OTC market. Basically, it's offline. They advertising on some portals so people can buy and sell in the cafeteria or on the WeChat or on the Skype. Still a lot of people very interested in cryptocurrency. I have two ladies from China, and they just come to my office. They just came to my office last week. They just said, "Hey, I want to buy $2 million worth of a Bitcoin from you." I said, "Why is that? You can cross the street to border to Hong Kong. They have so many cryptocurrency exchange." They said, "No, we love U.S. because that's how crypto started, and we believe you. And you have office. We just have a new ATM in our office. It's on the press release. Our stock symbol is CIIX. It's got so excited today. It's almost like 12:30. New York Times stock exchanges trade half of the day, but we have over 600,000 volume, and there's 400,000 money coming into our stocks. It's up 27%. The news is we put the first ATM in the Chinese community in the U.S. For cryptocurrency ATM. We partner with a blockchain ATM company, LLC, in San Gabriel, Los Angeles. We put a machine over there, and this Saturday we're going to have a live show in the Chinese radio, which have over 250,000 audience coverage in the Los Angeles area. And we are going to live DJ show for 2 hours, introducing how to buy, sell cryptocurrency, how secure, how to do it step by step. So I'm so excited about stocks. I am so excited about cryptocurrency. I hope you guys can give me some guidance for 2018. What are you guys thinking? Because I read the article, some people saying go to 40,000, some people are saying 100, some people saying $1 million by 2020. What are you guys thinking?
Well, we are not financial advisors.
But you can have a free speech. You can say something that's not violate any law. You can just, hey, I think crypto go to 5,000 or go to a moon. But it's just free speech. Our audience, just want to know everyone I just watched the video from CCTV, the national-owned TV media in China. They put so much bad mouths about cryptocurrency. So I just want to ask you guys are host on the show. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys thinking next year?
Well, I'll tell you what I think, because, it's just a matter of, knowing that cryptocurrency markets right now are around $320 billion or whatever it is. I've not checked out what it is today, but last time I checked, it was $355 billion market cap, Mr. Joel Com. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's what it is right now.
Incredible.
Yeah. And so if you think about that, and now as this thing approaches $1 trillion, because on Thanksgiving Day, it was 250 billion. Now, like 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, it's grown by 100 billion. So if we're getting, or they're throwing $100 billion at market cap every 2 weeks into this crypto space, then, we could be at $50,000 by the end of next year for Bitcoin. It just depends on the Bitcoin dominance. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is, of that 355,000, 56% of that is Bitcoin dominance. So knowing that, once that gets to $1 trillion, then that means if Bitcoin's at 50% dominance, that means Bitcoin's market cap is 500 billion, which then increases the price 3 times from what it is today. So that means it's going to be sitting at around $36,000 then once the market cap hits $1 trillion. So I think it's just based on math in my mind. So the more money that keeps pouring into crypto, the higher Bitcoin and the higher these other cryptocurrencies go.
Well, and here's the thing. Bitcoin is kind of the gateway drug, right? And once people learn how to use that, then they start hearing about altcoins and other utilities. And that's, things like, CryptoKitties is leading people to understand more about Ethereum, and the more that they understand, then they're going to see these other opportunities. And I feel like a rising tide lifts all boats. But again, it could go to the moon, or the whole thing, could fall apart. And on that note, Warren, we talk about it falling apart. The market took a pretty big hit for a short time when China banned ICOs. Now, you're a lot closer to that situation and probably have a better idea of what's going on over there. Now, we know that they haven't shut down crypto completely, because we have companies like Neo, that is the Chinese Ethereum. So I'll turn the tables back on you and ask you, what do you think is going to happen where China's concerned?
I was almost there because I booked a conference in Shanghai around like mid. There's Ethereum founder will speech over there, so I said, hey, I need to go there. But suddenly they canceled because the Chinese government banned the cryptocurrency exchange, the ICO, and I still back there around like September 23rd. I talked to my friends; they are in the ban in Shanghai, and they told me there are about eight shows every day about ICO. So it's totally shut down by Chinese government. I mean, the people doing multi-level thing, they are so excited about cryptocurrency. So right now, people still selling a lot of so-called cryptocurrency, but using for multi-level things. And they're going nuts because there's no regulatory, no centralized exchange. So everybody do offline exchange. And they monitor the crypto Bitcoin price. They're so excited. They think if you trade about $10,000 Bitcoin, but their little small coin trading $2-3, they think they will go to the moon like Bitcoin, because there are about 1.3 billion people in China. So, I mean, the real economic is really in recession right now. So people have nothing to play with because the cost of the labor, land, rents, everything goes high. The real estate bubble is too high. Nobody can afford anymore. And suddenly they go to the cryptocurrency. So the Chinese government really scared right now. And I think that's the situation. And there's a lot of craziness in China still about cryptocurrency. Even, like I said, CCTV, national owned, the media, they still saying bad words about cryptocurrency, but it's still going higher. So one guy asked me, he said, hey, what's your stock symbol? I said, why are you asking me that? He said, well, you do cryptocurrency, which is good. I want to buy your stocks. So, I mean, China right now, everybody buying the cryptocurrency from the offline. And as you guys know, today I have a news. There's a hard fork is coming to the market by Chinese famous crypto billionaire. His name is Li Xiaolai. It's then like a Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold. It's very similar to Bitcoin Gold. You know how much open right now? It's open in the one exchange. It's already exceed $2,500 open price. So it's more than 21. It's like 22 million coins. It's 200,000 more than cryptocurrencies. So their market cap is I believe, exceeding the Bitcoin Cash. The reason people chasing that coin is because this gentleman, he did ICO. He in one day created one ICO called the WordPress, which is a the writer, content provider, the coin for their works. And he raised $500 million within a day with no white paper. So it's like he's really, really crazy. He's right now on the December 17th, his hard fork called Super Bitcoin is going to launch. But right now, the one exchange is trading around like 2,500. As you guys know, Bitcoin Gold trading 330, Bitcoin Cash trading 1,300, 1,500. They used to hit 2,800. But this Li Xiaolai Super Bitcoin's hard fork from Bitcoin is going to launch, already trading like $2,500. The reason is because all the Chinese guys buying this Bitcoin.
Yeah, we talked about that last week on an episode, Super Bitcoin at superbtc.org. So it's interesting watching all of these forks. I have a question for you, Warren, about the rush of Chinese investors that are looking for ways to buy and sell large volumes of Bitcoin. And because now they're in China and they maybe don't have a way to access Bitcoin or Bitcoin exchanges. And maybe if you could explain what that means for the continued rise or the bubble that potentially could be forming in China, or just the demand that folks have in China for Bitcoin. How are they unloading their Bitcoin? Because some of the largest mining operations are in China. What are their options now whenever China has shut all that stuff down? How are they getting their money out?
Sure, good question. Actually, there's no way, since the Bitcoin is decentralized, currency. So it's only way you can shut down the Bitcoin in China is shut down the whole internet, which is possible in this world because China is more open than 20 years ago. It's not like North Korea. So people still trade the coin offline, which means there's a platform. There's so many platforms. They post the buy sell price. So you, for example, it's like eBay or Alibaba's Taobao, which you have a internet. You can listing the buyer and seller, and you can charge the advertising fee for the seller, usually 0.78%. So when the buyer and seller they meet each other, they can start negotiate the price, and then they just transfer the money each other, which is government can now allow. So it's getting very popular in China. It's called the decentralized exchange. China just shut down the centralized exchange, but there's no way to shut down people talking each other, exchange the coin each other. So I mean, the Bitcoin pricing mania is still going exploding. It's spread around whole China right now, and a lot of people they sell their real estate property. They look into Bitcoin. They want to allocate 2% or 5% of their assets into Bitcoin, which can be very huge. So I heard a rumor China is going to open the Bitcoin exchange, regulate it, because they worry about the money outflow to Hong Kong or somewhere, and they start buying Bitcoin. So in the US dollar terms, so they better off just open the Chinese yuan exchange. So when the people have a Bitcoin, they can sell in the Chinese yuan, they can buy, they can from Chinese yuan. So the money never out of flow from China. So that's possibly the rumor.
Let me follow up on the NEO question then, because, as they've banned ICOs, that seems to me like it's a temporary ban until they can put this regulation in place. As a speculator myself, I've been long on NEO and, previously Ant shares, and I kind of feel like they're positioned that when China does open it back up using, under regulation, that thing could explode. What do you think?
I think NEO is more application utility coin. So they're more like a Chinese Ethereum. Basically, they put a lot of smart contract into the Chinese language. And so it's more using in normal words. So I heard a bunch of them, Chinese government or Chinese corporation, they start using the NEO application because they want to build in a blockchain. They have a smart contract. They can change the housing. They can exchange the real estate assets or something with the smart contract. So I think it's more like utility coin instead of money raising securities. So I heard that that technology is just possibly about translation, but there's no one else doing that. So I think Alibaba, Baidu, or Tencent, they might take over that company. So there's a lot of value there, but as I know, there's something happened recent 2-3 weeks. They put a Twitter. They said they have a big news coming out, and then there's nothing in 3 days. People just feel frustrated, so they went up from like $28 to all the way to 48, up 50% in a day, and then they come back, but they're still going strong on the weekly chart. So I think NEO, if the Bitcoin still going up, like your guy said, NEO can be $100, $500, especially ETH. If they reach like $7,000 next year, it can happen, and NEO can go with about $200, $500. So I mean, NEO is only China play in this platform. I mean, in the few Chinese cryptocurrency assets so far in this universal. So I think it's very attractive because there's not many player or competitor in that field and can be easily a takeover targets.
That's been some of the thoughts that's been on our mind as well as we've watched NEO progress from ant shares to where it is today. I remember Joel and I talking about ant shares when it was like $2 a pop, $2.50. And I was like, whoa, this could be the Chinese Ethereum. We should keep an eye on this one. And then it popped to $15 and then it popped to $50. And now it's back down to about $40. I want to ask you about, you basically have launched a Chinese version of CoinMarketCap, for Chinese speakers, and that's newcoins168.com. I'm curious then about, your advice for crypto entrepreneurs that want to attract Chinese accredited investors to their listings and, how people or who maybe are running ICOs or companies that are thinking about running an ICO, how can they, tap into, the Chinese investor, cryptocurrency investors that are out there that maybe, haven't heard about some of these companies that are popping out, but want to invest in these crypto companies. How do ICOs find them?
I think they need to do a lot of roadshow and also doing the video shows, and they need advertising Chinese, cryptocurrency media. There's a bunch of them very popular. I saw the advertising is still there. But that's, since China is banned the ICO, so they need to be very careful. But in the US and Canada, if you are filing with SEC, you can still legalize advertising and do the roadshow. I think nothing different. But my knowledge is there's not much Chinese guy who really understand cryptocurrency. Because population-wise, we only have about 4 million Chinese Canadian, Chinese American in the North America. So compared to 300 million U.S. population, it's a very, very small market. So there are not many Chinese investors in the North America really understand how cryptocurrency works. For example, they don't even have a wallet. They don't even know how to buy. They are scared. So you need to have, in your corporation, you need to have a Chinese guy who speak, Mandarin, Cantonese, and fluent reading and writing in Chinese. So they can help you out to approach that audience and hands on hands explain to them how to set up the wallet and then how to do the research, how to figure out which ICO is good. So I think that all the ICO entrepreneur, this is huge market because, for example, I read most of ICO, they raise about like $2,000 from each investors. So I think Chinese investor have more saving rates. They have a more savings habits. So they might invest $5,000 average. There's a lot of big player there, the Shark, whatever. But you need to spend time, pay attention to that niche market. So you can easily to raise 5,000 per investors if you do it right. It can, but it's take a lot of time to expand from the basic all the way to the advanced knowledge. So, that's the entrepreneur, anyway, ICO entrepreneur need to be prepared to understand, there's not much knowledge level that Chinese investors has. So, just be patient.
Well, this has been interesting, Warren. It's Warren Wang. He's with the website ChineseFN.com for Chinese-speaking investors in the U.S. and China. Last question for you, Warren. What do you think the people of China would think of the Bad Crypto podcast?
It'll be cool. You need to into translation, and then you need the marketing over there. They love U.S. Like I said, I have two lady from China. They just brought like $2 million US come to my office, say, hey, I want to buy cryptocurrency because it's from US. So your guys made in US. I hope your guys show can get it popular in China. We can definitely help. And, I will say hi to all your audience. Say hi from the Chinese, represent Chinese, some portion of the Chinese investor. Say hi to your audience. Wish you then the best luck in the 2018. Wish your two guys best luck in 2018. Make a lot of money and make a fortune in 2018. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Warren. Take care.
Really appreciate it.
Interesting things happening around the other side of the world, even though Warren was in New York, and they're kind of happening here.
Yeah, I know their office is in L.A. and I've been to it. Pretty fascinating stuff. They got a great following. Tons and tons of Chinese folks who live in America who speak Chinese. They're able to participate in a lot of these ICOs, and a lot of these companies out there are trying to find out ways to get in front of that market. Hey, we know a guy. Mr. Warren Wang knows them all. So that's great. Fascinating interview. Really glad that he had the chance to come on. It's not every day you get to talk to the Chinese Jim Kramer.
I know a guy who knows a guy who also knows a guy. And together they're a bunch of guys who know people. Anyway, we know people.
You're such a name dropper.
The citizens of the Republic of Bad Cryptopia. Our hearts belong to you. Thank you so much for listening. There's so much great stuff coming. We are just getting started, gang. 63 episodes in, plus, I don't know, we're probably actually about 75 shows in because of the extras and the ICO spotlights. Coming up on the next episode, Stan Larimer of BitShares. Join us. Interact, engage, communicate. You're especially more likely to find us in the Facebook Mastermind group or on the Telegram group. So come along for the ride. And until next time,
stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.